Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Alice and I do a lot of singing and signing videos and sometimes things with a twist, but quite often it's musical theatre themed. So today I'm doing my top 5 musical soundtracks, excluding movie musicals and the musicals I've been in. So they're Hairspray, Annie Hit Young, Honk and Joseph. So I'm going to tell you them in no particular order, although my top 2 are at the end, and I'm going to tell you my favourite song from each soundtrack. So let's get into it. So the first one is 6. I love the soundtrack. I think it's really catchy. It's great. It's really popular as well. It's all good. And I think my top 3 songs in this one are Don't Lose Your Head, All You Wanna Do, and House of Holbein. I'm looking down here, not that you can see that, but down here, because I've got a list of everything so I don't forget what I'm saying. So my second favourite music, well not second, but the second on my list is Matilda, and I think my favourite 3 songs again from this one are Quiet, Naughty and Telly, because they're my favourite ones. Really want to play Matilda, but I'm too old, so that's never going to happen. It was probably the first musical soundtrack I got into, so yeah. My next one is Dear Evan Hansen. I love this musical soundtrack. I fell in love with it as soon as I heard one song from it, which is always a good sign. And that's all Waving Through a Window, and I do love that song, but I think my favourite song is Requiem, and this is the only one that I've only put one song on, because if I was to put more than one, I'd have the whole soundtrack on this list. But I think the reason I chose Requiem is because the message is like, there is not a message, but the meaning behind the song is its own reason. But I think you can apply that song to many different situations, which is great, and I love it. And also, it's the only one in my range that I can sing, like the whole of it, or more or less the whole of it, because most of the other ones have got very male parts in, and that one's got female parts in, which is lovely. And I don't have a low female voice, have a high female voice, so I can't even attempt to sing the male parts. So before I say my top 2 musicals, I'm going to give some honourable mentions, but I'm not going to tell you my favourite songs from that soundtrack. These soundtracks, if you want to see that, I might do it on my blog. So comment down below and I will probably do it on my blog, but there's a link to my blog in the description anyway. So my honourable mentions are The Addams Family, Wicked, Heathers, The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Mamma Mia and The Book of Mormon. They're all great. A lot of those are on there because I don't necessarily listen to the whole soundtrack, I just listen to parts of the soundtrack, or they just didn't make the cut. And yes, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Mamma Mia, and Chitty are all films. Oh, I didn't say Chitty, but Chitty's kind of on there. But they're all films, but they're also musicals, so that's where I put them on there. Yeah. So my top 2 musicals, which are kind of in order, but they're kind of not, are Mary Poppins. I love this. I am the biggest fan of the film. I love the film, I love the actors, I love Saving Mr. Banks. I love the film, love both of the Disney films. But because I love that, no, I'm not listening to the musical because they've changed all the music and it's not right, and they've changed it and it's not okay because it's not got Julie Andrews in it. It's just wrong. It's wrong. I was an idiot. And I'm so annoyed at myself for not letting myself listen to it. The only song that I used to listen to was Practically Perfect because it wasn't in the film and they didn't rewrite a song to put it in the film, or like to put it in the musical from the film. But fun fact, there was originally going to be a song called Practically Perfect that I'm pretty sure had the same melody as Sister Suffragette. Yeah. But they rewrote that song to fit Sister Suffragette, probably due to P.R. Travers, not gonna lie. But yeah, so there would have been a song in the film called Practically Perfect, but there's not, so they kind of used it in the musical but kind of didn't. But I love that song. But we went to see it in November and I was skeptical because it was all different, and I knew it was different because I knew the music was different, but it's different because they rewrote it and they did it so well because it's still the story and it's still the message. But there's bits of the books, and apparently it's closer to the books than it is to the film, and closer to the books than the film was. And it's probably P.R. Travers would have approved more of the musical than she would of the film, especially the second film. And they accepted, yeah, we can't have them riding around horses on the stage, and a lot of the things they couldn't do because it's a stage, not a film set. So they thought, yeah, we're going to completely not scrap that, but like completely change it so it's not the same, which was great. I love it, and I would recommend listening to it, but the easiest way to do it is YouTube and Spotify because Amazon devices don't work. Mine's down there, which is why I'm pointing at it. Mine, you have to be very specific and it's very temperamental, so yeah. But I think my favourite songs from that soundtrack are Practically Perfect, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and I think I prefer that version of that song to the one in the film. Don't Come For Me, I don't know, and Perfect Nanny. But I do, again, I love all the songs, so it's really difficult to say which ones my favourite are, but they're ones that I can sing, and I can't sing a lot of my other favourite ones because this female voice don't like it. And probably my favourite musical at the moment is Les Mis. I am obsessed. I love the quotes from it. I love, like, there's so many different quotes I love. I love I love the story. I love the actors that are in the film, because yeah, I've seen the film. I didn't get into the film. I had obviously heard of the musical because I mean it's a massive musical, especially in the UK. And then I mean it's 5 years old. Can't remember. It's an old musical. But I love, like, people who are in it, especially like at the moment. A lot of the cast, or like who were in it in the concert. I love a lot of the cast. And so I watched the musical because it was the easiest way of getting myself into that musical. Since I found that's not really what I meant. But I fell in love and I loved the music. And then I started listening to the, like, musical soundtrack. And then the stage concert happened and I wanted to go and see it at the cinema, but we didn't. And then they released it and we have it. And so I watched that and I fell back in love with it. And it's got Kerry Hope Fletcher, who I love and is amazing. It's got Matt Lucas, who is amazing. Michael Ball, Alfie Boe, Shan Echo. It's got, like, loads of amazing people in it. I love that show. It is amazing and I kind of really want to do it. Kind of want to play Cosette. Cosette is amazing. Eponina's amazing. All the characters are amazing. But Gavroche, oh my god, Gavroche is so cute. And Bradley Jaden, who was playing Andras in the stage concert, is now playing Javert, is kind of cute. I kind of didn't say that out loud, but he's, like, kind of cute. Yeah, I'm gonna stop with that now. But I think my favourite songs are On My Own, I Dreamed a Dream, Stars, and Castle on a Cloud. Could probably choose more. Could probably tell you my favourite song is the whole soundtrack. But my favourite quote is probably, a little rain will make flowers grow. I forgot the order of the words then. That was very smart. But yeah, so they are my top 5 musical soundtracks. Leave down below your top 5 or your top. And if you want to hear me talk about my honourable mentions or just want me to do it on my blog, comment down below. Comment down below any video ideas you want to see because I got free time on my hands. I could do more covers, but a lot of them are getting copyrighted, so just bear that in mind. Yeah. See you guys soon. Bye!